After more than a decade making waves over the air, a community radio station on Amherst Island in Lake Ontario is facing an uncertain future. Here with that story from our studio at Queen's University in Kingston, our Eastern Ontario Hub's editor, David Rockne Corrigan.
Hi, Jan.
Now, David, you visited the radio station. What makes it so unique?
Well, I don't know where to start. I mean, I guess the location. So, this radio station is floating in Lake Ontario, as a lot of the volunteers describe it. It's on Amherst Island, which is about 30 kilometers west of Kingston. I had to take a ferry to get over there, and then, of course, the station itself is in a barn. So it's actually an old milk house. When the station was created in 2006, they were looking for a home, and this nice gentleman named Dale Gowan said, "You can use this old milk house. I'm not using it. There's just some junk in there." So they went on eBay and bought a whole bunch of equipment and built a broadcast studio in this barn floating in Lake Ontario. So I took the ferry over there and was greeted there on a Friday morning, and I got to listen in on their aptly named Friday morning show. And this is a really unique slice of Canadian life. You have this radio station run entirely by volunteers, and it's an eclectic and eccentric a bunch of people that run this, all just out of the passion and a love for their community and a love for broadcasting.
Now, I hear your presence created quite the buzz. Now, you were there to go interview some of the volunteers there, but somehow you ended up being in the interviewee chair. Tell me about that.
I did, and when I think some of the Islanders and volunteers at the station learned that TVO wanted to come interview them, there was buzz, and then all of a sudden I became something of a local celebrity, and the host of the Friday morning show said, "Well, you're a celebrity, therefore we must interview you." And so on this particular show, the host, Brian Little, was going through #1 hits from the year 1975. And I'm a big fan of 70s music, and I told him that I also liked disco. He wasn't a big fan of that. And this was just one of many shows that they run. They run dozens of hours of live programming every week on this station.
Tell me about some of that programming. What else besides the 1975 #1 hits? What else do they got?
Sure, I'll give you a little rundown of some of the shows. So we have Jazz Jim's Vault. We have the Saturday Night Barn Burner. We have Sally's Books, which is about books, and Sally reads passages from them. We have a show called Birding, which is about birding. And there is a show about cheese. And there is a show called I Like to Move It Mondays, where a gentleman named Mike plays songs to get people going on Monday mornings, and there's another show about history. So they really they run the spectrum here. Something for every taste. I was listening one morning, and they were playing playing music 1 hour. Then the next hour, a host was on there doing a movie review with her kids of a new film. So there's really lots to choose from on this station.
Sounds like a very fun environment, but I know there are some challenges that the station is facing. Do you mind telling us about that?
Yeah, sure. And I think I'll get into community radio sort of more broadly later. And something that's a challenge for a lot of community radio stations is the finances. And when you're running just on volunteers, it can be hard to pay for things like technical upkeep, and to pay for subscriptions to online broadcasting, to pay for royalties. These kinds of things do add up. I'm told that there are about a dozen stations in the country that run on less than $20,000 a year, so it's not much. But with Amherst Island, they've been succeeding. They've actually been thriving with their business model, despite having some of the lowest advertising rates in the province. So they've boosted those up a little bit to make up for slowing revenues, but at the same time, this beautiful milk house that they've been broadcasting in is owned by this gentleman, 77-year-old Dale Gowan. I mentioned him earlier, and he told me that at some point, he will move on, and this the property will probably go to his heirs, and he's not sure if they want to have a radio station on their property? Or if it gets sold to someone else, do they want to have a radio station on their property? So at this point, Amherst Island, they are looking ahead to the future and realizing that they, the rent-free scenario that they've found themselves in for so long will eventually come to an end, and will probably double their expenses in a given year. So that's one of the things happening. I know that every community radio station would have different challenges, but this one for Amherst Island is something they're going to be watching over the next couple of years, and making sure that they'll respond accordingly. They've already, as I mentioned, raised their advertising prices. They've announced some partnerships. I was, when I visited the studio, it's now called the Spearhead Brewing Studio. So they've tried to forge more partnerships in the community. But again, this is all volunteer driven. So this is something that they're concerned with and will be thinking about in the years to come.
I'm curious for listeners who want to listen to the station. Are they tuning in on their radios? Can they also listen online as well?
Both, yes. So this is broadcasting 92.1 FM. So in their area, if you will, is from roughly Picton to Napanee to the western edge of Kingston, including Bath and Amherst View. So that's the area that you would find them on the dial if you were in your car. But you can also find them online. If you were to look up CJAI or Amherst Island Radio, you could find them. They're playing online all the time. And so that's why they tell me they've got listeners in Germany. They've got listeners in the Middle East because of amazing technology that you can listen and broadcast right around the world.
Now, the Amherst station is part of a network of 18 community radio stations across the province. Here's a look at how they are spread out. David, can you tell me what's the history of these community radio stations in Ontario?
These would be not including the campus stations. So campus radio would be found on most university campuses in Ontario. There are roughly 19 or 20 of them, and then there are some French language community radio stations as well. They're not included on that map. But we have, you can see that they're spread out right across the province, and community radio is something that is really important to a local community where, places where the CBC doesn't reach, or where maybe commercial radio is not viable, is where you'll see community radio stations often are thriving. And to talk about the campus radio station side just briefly, I am sitting here in Fleming Hall at Queen's University, and this building actually was the site of the first campus radio broadcast back in 1922. So Queen's, it was actually part of an electrical engineering project that they did in the basement of this building where I'm sitting in, and it became CFRC, which is a long-running campus radio station. It was running for 40 years, basically, before another campus station, I believe in Saskatchewan, came around. But in this building, they were broadcasting a couple of hours live per week here at Queen's University. And then later on, community radio in the mid-70s, there was some happening down in the States, and in Canada, the CRTC decided in the mid-70s to start giving out a community radio license. So two of the first community radio licenses in Ontario went to Kitchener and Ottawa. And so both of those stations are actually still running strong as well. And then you've got several other community radio stations right across the province that are running in both English and French. And you've got in several, especially the bigger markets like Ottawa and Toronto, you would have lots of programming geared towards immigrant communities.
I want to talk listeners. Here's a look at who's tuning in. So according to 2017 figures from Abacus Data and Nanos Research, 1/5 of Canadians listen to community radio, a quarter of adults aged 18 to 29 born outside of Canada, and a third of people who describe themselves as being active in community affairs and politics. What's the appeal of community radio to these groups?
Well, it's the local factor. I mean, if you're someone who maybe doesn't want to listen to commercial radio or doesn't want to listen to the CBC, this offers you another alternative. And so I think you look at the schedule at Amherst Island's radio lineup, their programming lineup, and you see this eclectic mix. There really is something for everyone. If you like talking about history, you can tune in on Monday mornings and listen to Keith Miller give his history show. And so I think that is probably the biggest appeal, is that not only are you hearing this eclectic mix, but you're hearing stuff about your own community, and it's the local content being reflected back to the community. People love to hear their friends on the air. They love to hear about the events close to them, and they might not hear it on other stations.
Very interesting stuff. Always a pleasure having you on the show, David Rockne Corrigan from our Eastern Ontario hub in Kingston. Thanks again.
Thanks, Jan.
The Agenda with Steve Bacon is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario, helping businesses stay on the right side of change with strategic thinking, insightful decisions, and business leadership. Are you on the right side of change? Ask an Ontario CPA.